Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa, episode number 9. So we completed Army Group South and the other two peripheral theaters. Except for one thing, thanks for the helpful comment. Somebody mentioned that I had forgotten to move this infantry. And, you know, minor things like that, they probably don't matter too much in the grand scheme of things, but I don't know, maybe on the other hand, every little bit counts. I want to write... This hasn't changed, obviously. I mean, the only thing that's changed is that we've taken more casualties. So far, 2,500 this turn. Which, you know, not great considering we're only halfway done. But I guess if we minimize our casualties, if we keep our casualties to a maximum of 5,000 a turn, that wouldn't be terrible. That would be sustainable. I mean, especially because, good gracious, going back to that again, it's just, I can't stop looking at this curve. Have I talked about it too much? This is definitely by far the most Soviet losses that I've seen in any campaign. So, okay, so now we're into Army Group Center. We have a lot of fun stuff to do. A lot of, well, I mean, one of the common themes which is going to happen for a couple of places we're going to cut off here. Yeah, we're going to be doing the surrounds and then eliminations of a few cities. So we want to take these back. I mean, take them back. Take them to begin with. And in Minsk, the goal is to minimize the number of troops that are in position to help out moving the front forward. In particular, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I'd like for the 68 here, there it is, and the 268s here to contribute against this infantry. I guess it could be the 67, as long as it has 120. But one of the 66s is going to move over here, and the other 66 is going to move right here. And we have 2 units here, the 66 will move over, and there we go. So we can get a full surround still. We don't need to use some of the better units. I think, at least I hope, that we'll be okay, not the 68, with the remaining forces. So yeah, we could use the 68 and put the 67 over. So 68 here. And actually you can see that our attack stack is not yet reached, so we can throw in one other, 68, why not? Yeah, it only takes 30 to move in. Sure, let's do that. Now we can do, the 68 with only, oh. Interesting, so these must have been reinforcements, both of these. This 68 is not just a reinforcement. Okay, so let's move this one in. Oh, although they can get pretty far if we don't use them. Yeah, I mean, let's just be a little bit more less conservative with our troops in the back. These aren't really going to be that useful anywhere else anyway. So I won't use the one that only has 40 action points left. You're free to roam. 66 is going to be used, and then I guess the 67 will be used. Okay, so we're kind of making this plan on the fly. No, I want to go with the 68 instead. It's minor things. No, not you. There. Okay, it's minor things, but I think we're actually a little bit over on the... How did I manage to do that? I'm going to go with it anyway. Did I? Okay, let's go. Sorry, just do this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are necessary. 1, 2. Then I want the 66 in here, yes. And I think the 68, this one. That puts us at 575. I think that's sufficient. Let's try that. So 200% surround. Oh, we are taking... Ooh. Well, I mean, I was going to say that was some pretty strong losses, but, I forgot to look on it on the other side. Right now, the new strategy has shifted. You can almost think of it as when you replace generals in war. Like, okay, this general, he's done well. Montgomery's done well, or maybe not. Who knows? Depends on who you ask. In the African front, we're going to replace him with a different general. There's effectively been a replaced general after the 3rd turn, or around that time, where the new Tortuga is trying to much more focus on minimizing German casualties instead of maximizing the Soviets. Although we're still doing a great job with that, and honestly, the original Tortuga aggressive general is the one who should get credit for that. I'm trying to conserve a little bit more, but we have so much momentum built up from the first really good turns. Anyways, 1400, it may be quite a few losses, but that's only when you look on this side. When you look on that side and you see 60 and 50, you start to realize, yeah, 1400 versus 22,000, that's a pretty good exchange. Okay, and more importantly, we did that while preserving some units, being able to move a little bit closer. So we have a 40, I think there's one, no difference, okay. So one of these guys is going to move here, one of them is going to move down here, and then one of these units can attack from up here. In fact, I think we did we use, yeah, we didn't use the 67, who could also come over here. We're just going to do a big old attack with a lot of our good old trusty 4th Army. So we can get 3 sides. When you have the 3 hexes exposed, you can get 4 infantry in there without going over the limit. 40% concentric bonus. I suspect, I mean, at least I really hope, that this will knock the readiness of this infantry down significantly. And actually, I am a dummy. What I want to do is, I want to explore whether Mogilev is actually occupied. And we can kind of do that. Or I could just maybe... Okay, so we can see this unit from 3 away. Yeah, we are 3 away from Mogilev, but it's a city, so... I think what I want to do is move here, and just see if we are going to move into Mogilev or not. So this is a little bit aggressive. I'm pretty sure that, I mean, this is plains. It's fortification, but underneath I think it should be plains. I don't think that fortifications have hide points. But anyway, I mean, even if they do, we're only 2 away, so that's not a big deal. Yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to move right here. We took Mogilev. Okay, then just move in. Okay, great, great, great. That's fantastic. In fact, okay, we want to be even more aggressive. We can get all the way over here. Let's do that. We took it. Great. So the reason why I wanted to do this is because, and in fact, I could move here. The reason I'm trying to do any of this is just to prevent this unit from moving back. I mean, we actually got zone of control in this area, but this is crazy. We were able to take a lot more territory than I expected. So what is going to happen then? I guess we just attack them and they'll move back here. Or should we send some more units across? Can anybody get across? Maybe not. Can anybody get across? Do we have some tanks? We have 1 tank here. And he can get across, but that would take almost all of his ability. Maybe I will just do the attack, and we'll see if the armor that's right here can just finish off this unit. Yeah, okay, let's just do this. 1 loss. Okay, we didn't inflict huge casualties, only 1,800. They're down to, oh man, only 26 readiness. So when you do these attacks and they retreat, what I'd like to target is getting them below 20. Typically it's probably around 22, 23 or so. Having 26 readiness is still, unfortunately, pretty combat effective. I mean, relative to what you might hope that they'd be at least. So I think everyone's just going to move forward here. The good news is we didn't take that many casualties, so that's, yeah, I mean, that's the good news. But the bad news is, you know, wait, can you attack? We might actually need you to attack. Yeah, the bad news is that they weren't rendered, as you can see, they were only down to 48 combat strength. They weren't rendered terribly combat ineffective, which we certainly would have hoped that they would have been. Anyway, that's just the way it is, so we'll get on with the push. Let's go. Let's move in and let's just do the attack with both these people. This is a 40% because we have them on both sides. These are our good troops. I don't think attacking more across the river is going to help as much either, so we're just going to go with this. Okay, good. They actually broke pretty quickly. We did lose 2 tanks, but that's kind of par for the course. Panzer II, Panzer III. I think that went okay. I mean, especially the fact you considered we just knocked out another 8,000 Soviet troops. So what's even better is that this panzer unit didn't do any of movement, didn't have to do anything. Oh my gosh, Orsha. Well, you know, the next thing which probably makes sense to do is also to... So we get this for free. And the next thing, again, to do is probably to probe whether Orsha is... Now, I didn't even talk about this, but the fact that we didn't take the territory in these 2 hexes means that there's an enemy unit here, which kind of contradicts my theory that if you're 2 hexes away, you can actually detect them. But I can still move here. I'm just guessing that there's some defense in Orsha. I can move here without suffering the zone of control, and I'm positive because this is open fields. Well, it's fields. But I'm still going to say that I'm 90% sure there's nobody in this hex. In the forest you can be hidden, but not really in the fields. So I'm just going to move here so I prevent suffering the zone of control penalty. There's nobody in Orsha? There's nobody in Orsha? We can get to Orsha. Well, we have to do it. We have to. We did it. It just had to be done. Oh, wow, this is crazy. These are crazy times. And we just took all of that. And, wow, okay, this is... We're really on a roll. This turn has already gone exceptionally well. Okay, so who wants to stay back and defend? I guess we can move the armor. So if we move here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to be at this hex to be within range of 5. I think we can do that. So let's move the armor back. We're going to leave the motorized to try to buy time for the cav and the infantry to pull up and defend Gomo. But we also want to see where the HQ needs to land. So if it stops here, let's move them here because this is only 35 fuel, which is basically the minimum amount we can be traveling. That's all territory that we owned. As you can see, we didn't get to the territory incurring that extra 5, that little hex notification saying 5. That means that was enemy territory at the start of the turn, so it does take a little bit of extra action points to move into. Sorry, I'm sure I've explained that a bunch, but there is that little white box, a little gray box, the extra 5, whatever. Now, at this point, we are within 5 of these 2 units. I don't know how the supply delivery system works. At least we will be within command range of them now. If we don't want to lose command range of the cab, what we have to do is actually park these guys up here. I'd like to move them right here, but I think we'll be able to get to Gomel on the next turn with the cab, because they actually move pretty good in all terrain, as you'd expect from cab. So we'll move it here. We take that last little blip of Soviet territory. Now we can't go off the road down here to the southeast. We have to park this infantry right here. So they're going to be probably... That might actually be 2 movements, even from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They might be able to get to Gomel if we had just decided to push them really hard, but then they'd be out of command range anyway, and they wouldn't get the full action points anyway. So yeah, we're going to leave those 2 where they are. Hopefully these guys are able to move freely, and what we're relying on is just the fact that these infantry don't move around us and into Gomel. And if they do, so be it. We're already on this side of the Dnieper, so it doesn't matter too much. We can take it back, or we don't have to. We can just move on. If they want to hold that, we'll go take Moscow instead. To me, it's remarkable. It's really remarkable that we took Orsha. If I wasn't trying to actually progress the the video, or the turn on the video, I'd probably be fixating on that a lot more. Okay, so where is everyone else going to go? That's a good question. We'll just move people forward as far as they can. I think we'd prefer to stay on the road, given the choice between road or not. Armor, I don't know where the armor is going to go. Actually, yeah, where the heck does the armor go? We want to at least make sure we hold this side of the bridge, so we need somebody to go there. Can anybody get there, though? Let's find out. Yeah, you can get across. That's really good already. That means we'll hold this territory no matter what, because... well, actually not no matter what. They could actually just walk in and take it. But they can't take it just by advancing close to it, because we will hold by zone of control. So I think I'm going to go ahead and park this unit over here. This takes 75 movement action points, but that's not too bad because we're basically just going... Oh, we're probably going around Minsk. Yeah, 45 here is 50 to go to Minsk because of the battle that took place there. But anyways, 45 for here, then it's 15 and another 15, so it's pretty good. Now we're holding that side of the river. We're obviously already holding that because of Mogilev, but now we hold the North Bridge and the South Bridge. And hey, although they had a field day blowing up bridges in the north, good for us. Center had these bridges taken before the Soviets blew them. And that's fantastic. Okay, so that's that. We basically just need to move everyone else forward. Well, given those two choices, I guess you'll park yourself in Minsk. Same here. Yeah, not great options there. We'll move you north, I guess. You can't do anything. Move you there. That's not bad. Probably better off in the south. Okay, the army. Where does the headquarters go? I mean, maybe right here? Oh, wait, we need to be close enough to get this unit. So 1, 2, 4, 5, so Minsk. Otherwise, well, I guess we'll just go down here. So that should be close enough to these guys, but also you're definitely in command range. Tough call there. I guess we'll take the northern route. You don't have a choice. Maybe I should support more in the north. I mean, I've kind of pawned off this huge group of Soviet forces as part of, like, this is Army Group Center, but it's really Army Group Center South and then Army Group Center North. The 2nd and 4th are South, and the 3rd and the 17th? Which one is this? The 9th. The 3rd and the 9th are the north part of it. So there's almost like effectively another dotted line here going through the middle, and I've just mentally cordoned off the northern group of Soviet forces as part of the north. It doesn't have to be that way. There's no reason why we can't all work together. Yeah, I think I'll move here just to be more reactive towards this large force right next to us. I'm just surprised that we can't move anybody else anywhere further north. Yeah, no, that's just about it. And these guys, now that there's no unit there, yeah, there we go. Somebody can move across. But nobody else. Okay, fair enough. So this is great. We're holding both sides of both bridges. And I mean, once again, I don't know. It's hard for me. I'm happy we got Mogilev. Getting Mogilev would have been like not just crazy unusual, but it was definitely a goal, an accomplishment. Taking Orsha is just phenomenal. I mean, you think about it, we're 3 hexes away from Smolensk, which is a big objective in my head. When you get to Smolensk, things really start to fall apart for the Soviets. I mean, that's in my head. But really, we've crossed this river. I mean, I don't know. This is phenomenal. If you think about it, we've gone about the same amount of distance to Orsha as Orsha is to Moscow. Even a little bit more. Because there's Bialystok and there's Orsha. You know, it's about almost a full screen away. And in the same way, Orsha is, yeah, it's about the same distance from Orsha to Moscow. So, yeah, very happy. But let me take a quick cut before I do Army Group Center North. Okay, time to move on to the north of Center. And the main objective here, eliminate this pocket. It's kind of a foregone conclusion that we will do it. The interesting thing to ask is whether or not I should be doing the same kind of thing I tried to pull up against Minsk, which was pulling away some 4th Army for other uses. This 66 can go over here, but that means the 67s have to spread out, and the funny thing is, there's no unit in here, so we really can't do that, unfortunately. We're going to have the 66 pop up here, the 67 go here. Even, I think we can get 2 people, yeah, we can get a 67 over here, 67 right here. We'll probably get this 68 in 35. There's also these 2 units, a 40 and a 40. Maybe it's better that we'll do it anyway. Okay, so what does that give us? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that? Okay, 1 red, 1 purple, 1 purple, 1 purple, 1 purple, 1 purple, 2 purples. So that means we should have 7 total, which is what we do have. You know what? It's only 133. I don't know. Actually, that's about the same as the other one was. Do I need to pull in more troops? I'm gonna hope that this is enough, honestly. Unfortunately, a lot of these units also don't have that many action points. You know what? No, I mean, it would just be a crime to not actually finish this unit off, so we're going to go ahead and... It doesn't really matter which one, I'll just move them up here. We're going to attack with one additional unit. So we'll attack from 2 in here, 2 in here, and now we should take 4 more total for a total of 8. Good. So we're just below the limit. I think this is better. Oh, I love it. I love it. We only lost 2. Let's see what the casualties are like. Doesn't look like it's maybe as many as last time. Oh, it's almost the exact same number. But only 400 losses. So that looks really good. 20,000 more Soviets down. I mean, this is just crazy. The pockets, the eliminations. It doesn't update the turn like in vivo, live, but we know this has already jumped over 800,000. Just crazy. Okay, what else for this turn? Well, another thing we want to do is we want to push these 2 units back, and then we want to start putting pressure against the units, especially because with the HQ that has just been destroyed, you can now see this 27th Tank Division has no HQ. And that should be the true... Yeah, here's another one. 210th Motorized Division has no HQ. I'm not sure who else is going to be suffering from this. Wait, yeah, 100 Rifle doesn't have an HQ. And I believe that they fight at a penalty if they're disconnected from their HQ. In fact, this guy, the 37th Rifle, no longer has an HQ. I don't know when that happened, or maybe that happened when we took Minsk. I didn't even pay attention to it. So we're going to start pushing along here. I guess it doesn't make sense to move the units that have already done battle and who can't do battle again, because we can push the front and, again, push back to zone of control, which means possibly they can move further if we just wait to move them. I think that the one exception for the fierce, separation of South and North and Army Group Center is going to be the 10th Panzer Division, who is going to help out with the attack here on the 50th Tank Division. So we're going to move them into position to do that. We'll probably move this motorized over to help. Yeah, I mean, I think that the first battles should probably actually be in the north. This unit can get over here. It's 60 either way. Yeah, so you're not going to be able to do another attack. I think we... Oh, I bungled this. I was actually going to have this unit attack from way up here and then just move in there. That would have been perfectly fine, actually. But I already clicked, and that's the end of that. We can still do the attack, and we could get... the 67th could even help. Although, I wouldn't mind moving in and taking this road instead. No, we're going to go ahead and attack with this 253rd, because I just feel like I need that help. And they're not going to be able to contribute in the attack, although this one can't either, but that's fine. I'm still going to do this. So we're going to be doing a rainbow-colored attack. We're going to get the 16th from Army Group North. We got the 102nd from 9th Army, and they're all going to be coordinating with, maybe you, the 5th Infantry Division from 3rd Panzer Group. Okay, let's do this attack. Now, it's 3-1. We got the 20% bonus. I hope this is sufficient. They are in plains. Okay, that's good. I mean, if they were in the forest, this might not be a good move, but in fact, this was perfectly fine. No losses, which I feel like is lucky on our behalf. And 2,200 losses. Okay, their readiness actually only dropped to 32. Didn't I just mention how like mid-20s is already like not that good? I'd prefer low 20s. I'd actually prefer in the teens. But 32 means they didn't take that many losses. We definitely are not going to move this. We don't want Army Group North in our Army Group Center. So that's not going to happen. And you can move north as well, which you will do. But I guess the next thing to do is just push this tank out. And I kind of would like if this tank, which is unfortunately in the forest here. So the best thing for us to do is actually going to be try to use infantry if at all possible, and it is possible. So you can attack from that side, and then another infantry can attack from the south. If we do that, it actually gives us a little bit of a better angle. Although you might be able to attack again if we just do the attack from two sides. I'm going to go a little bit risky here and try to do it this way. Now tanks don't fight very well in the forest, I should have shown that. which they are in. We didn't take any losses. We inflicted, you know, a measly 400 troops, but they only have 1,000 to begin with. 20 AT and 35 tanks. And they have been softened up to 22 readiness. I think we'll be able to do a follow-up on that. Ooh, okay. Not from the original guy, but at least from the second one. And he can't attack the unit in the north either. But I think I will do a follow-up attack against this tank. Yeah, what I was saying is, because of the forest, you can see a whole bunch of 50%. I mean, if you can read it, I know that the resolution in this game is, you know, there's no windowed mode in this, believe it or not. This game does not have windowed mode. It only has full screen or nothing. So, anyways, the text is probably small, but basically it's 50% across the board, which includes defending. I probably shown that before anyway, but now that they're out of the plains, they will attack and defend at 100%, but hey, now that they're already beaten up, I don't mind that they're going to be at their full combat capability. It matters a little bit less. So the question I'm trying to decide right now is what to attack this unit with. It's actually 45 to attack it from either the south or this area. Oh, right, because you could go down here, which is plains. So it only takes 15 to move in there, and then takes 30 to move in here. Versus actually taking a full 45 to go off-road into the forest. I mean, between those two options, I'd rather attack... Oh my goodness, I didn't realize this. We could actually fully go around on this road and then end up here. In fact, we can even end up across the river. I'm not sure I want to do that, but seeing that as an option means I guess I need to consider it, right? This is a very weak unit. Why don't I just attack? This motorized is not going to be good for much else. Although, no, I do want to attack with Panzer Group stuff. So let's go ahead and move. This is 75 versus 80. Let's do the 75. It's only 7 to move here, though. Let's still do it. Let's get this attack going. There we go. Push him out. Love to see another unit broken. I haven't seen that for a while. But anyways, they were punished enough in the first battle that they weren't able to do anything meaningful in the second. And we pushed them back a little bit further. So both units who have already done the movement are going to go ahead and move in. Alright, there we go. Since we already paid the fuel for it anyway, right? Now we need to start manning the front, and I mean, I do think it would be worthwhile for us, and by the way, yeah, so you can actually go all the way around and attack, and that would completely surround this unit, but I'm not too worried about it. Where's this unit going to go anyway? So I think what we'll instead be doing is probably attacking this tank division, or even the other ones, other divisions. Yeah, let's start off by doing an attack against the lone 50th tank division down here. And you know what, that seems like a pretty safe place to have my 14th motorized assist. Depends on who else is around, though. Yeah, I'm going to have them help. So we will do this attack. I don't know if the 10th Panzer is going to move in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be the limit of their ability. They can do this, but no more. Okay, lost a half track, lost infantry, but how did we do? Yeah, we did really massacre this unit. It has less than half of its infantry, exactly half of its tanks. I mean, actually a little bit less, because we actually took out a T-34, the ever-elusive. And it's lost 100% of its AT. So it has just been stripped of almost all... Yeah, it's a combat strength of 8 now. That sounds about right. So we can do a follow-up here, and actually the funny thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we did the follow-up attack into this unit like that, we actually would be in command range with the 10th Panzer, the 2nd Panzer Group, Guderian's forces. Anyway, I don't think we're going to do that, though. I might even want to leave the 10th Panzer now that I think about it, because if we don't leave them, in theory they could move north, and actually that's... Is anybody capable of moving north? No, it's really sad. We didn't move anybody here, which I would have liked to have done now that I think about it. But can any of you units get in? No? You can get down here. Not really what I want. We're not going to attack this unit. Just too many fresh units there. and they have HQs. We'd prefer to pick on ones without. Yeah, I'll save whether or not we're going to move that one in until after. Now we want to start picking on these guys. I think another 3-sided attack is in order. And I know I could do some fancy stuff moving all the way around, but I'm going to just stick to the basics here. So let's move this guy in as well. How are we doing as far as fuel goes? 3,700. That'll be very, very easy to, I'm going to say, squander. I think we might end up really squandering it if we're not careful. Nonetheless, we can do an attack with all these units, and I think that's fine to do. Okay, we did take some losses. Oh boy. We did also inflict a lot of casualties, though. So we lost 10 Panzer IIs and 20 Panzer IIIs and 1 Panzer IV. Wow, that is a pretty significant chunk of offensive right there. Dang. But it wasn't for nothing. I mean, we did eliminate 4,200 more Soviet infantry. We did take out the T-34. I mean, basically, we're really trimming these units down in combat capability. The way I view it is, yes, we're taking big losses, and it is making me second guess whether or not we should be doing these attacks. But nonetheless, what do I want to say about that? So you also can move in. I think I am going to push them all forward, and then this guy's just going to move in because, you know, like I said, we already paid for that movement. I think, though, that us paying these costs now is kind of like what we're seeing in the South, where, you know, it kind of looks to me like there's a really funny comment from Jotzi that the Soviets wish they were 3 hexes from Kiev. I'm like, wow, I'm 3 hexes from Kiev. And, you know, Soviets wish they were in that same situation. They may, who knows, for all I know, they may not even have a unit in Kiev. I don't know how to say it, but, yeah, they probably have a garrison. But we are very close to it, and like I said, they're going to have to, if they don't have a unit there, we're probably first in line to get there. Although we don't have enough fuel, well, we actually probably have enough fuel for motorized just to go crazy and try to get there. Anyway, what's the point of me saying that? I sometimes think that although we might be suffering heavier losses, this has been kind of like the theme of this whole playthrough. Even though we might be suffering greater losses, I think that the disproportionate casualties we're inflicting is ended up working in our favor. Okay, anyway, time to move some motorized forward. Let's get these guys forward so you can move here. I might want to do that just to make sure we're kind of flopping spots, but I think I will do that just to make sure that we have somebody. And the infantry being in the forest just makes the most sense anyway. 70 to go here, it's only 55 to go here, or you could just stay on the road. I mean, you can move forward 1 at least. That's one good question is, where do I want to end up putting my people? And you know what? Do we want to attack this guy and maybe, first of all, we'll push him across the river, but second of all, we might just shatter him. You do not have the capability of doing that. Dang it, I thought that maybe you would. Do not. Yeah, nobody has the ability to attack, so basically we're just going to move forward to anybody who can. We really don't have that much movement either. This is the most we're getting. I guess I'll keep somebody on the road just in case we want to support on that side. Again, just these really... There we go. The first one that can actually move somewhere. So just push you over there. And Ninth Army itself... Well, our units haven't really gone anywhere that we would need to move you anywhere, so you can basically stay where you want. Oh, well, I take it back. We can actually get pretty far forward with this unit. Yeah, well, I think we'll just push you all the way up then. The one unit that can help next turn. So right now, if I turn back on command radius again, we'll definitely move into Vilnius, staying along the road. And that does put us exactly in contact with everyone. We have 2,500 fuel left over. Wrong hotkey, sorry about that. What does this mean? What do we want to do next turn? Because we are going to have a fair stock of fuel. Well, what I guess it means is if we have the ability, we can just go buck wild behind the enemy lines, taking over Smolensk if they have anybody there. I mean, maybe our Guderian forces just go so crazy. Or, on the other hand, we save this fuel because next turn we'll probably get the relocation for Army Group Center. Right now they're suggesting Vilnius. No, we're definitely not going to do Vilnius. I mean, it wouldn't be terrible, but I have always been targeting Minsk. That's always been the goal, get to Minsk quickly, and then move the forward supply base there, especially because that's going to be connected by rail pretty soon. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe 4 more turns tops. We could get lucky and make it in 3. Okay, but I think that's done for this turn. I'll double check and see what other people we might want to move forward, but things look pretty good. I mean, we were able to accomplish what we set out to do, which was eliminate the big pocket. These pockets are becoming smaller and smaller, but I guess that's because simply the Soviet army is decreasing and decreasing in numbers, so yeah, look at that. I don't know, just amusing every time I look at that. So I'll take another brief cut here. I'll scan. There might be some units I forgot to move. Maybe not. But I'll look through them, and otherwise we'll pick up in the north. Well, the north is a real puzzle to me. I can't imagine we're going to make any real progress this turn. This is going to be yet another turn where the infantry come up. I mean, the only thing of real substance we can do, I guess, is take Vypesia. So we'll do that. It took a few casualties there, 600 to 8,000, and the 6,000 Soviet conscripts. I probably should take a moment next time and actually examine the difference between the conscripts. Infantry. Yeah, the Riga garrison is not... I mean, it's just... Does it have lower morale or anything? 31 experience is actually pretty good. 62 morale is pretty good. Yeah, it has more experience than the... Oh, this is an HQ? What? Huh, it has more experience than any of these things. Alright, well, I think that we might as well... You know what, I actually don't... I was going to say we might as well go explore up by Windau with this unit, but no, you know what, we're going to stay nice and close to Riga. Riga is ultimately, of course, the goal. We're not going to be able to take it this turn, though. And probably what I should be doing is, as soon as I can, getting infantry across. Can I? Yes, no infantry can actually even get across. But I guess we can do this attack on 3 sides. Obviously, this is like an easy win. The only reason I'm doing it with 3 units is maybe we can kill off a few extra the headquarters units. No, not really. I mean, we still eliminated 3, but... Yeah, I don't think... I can't imagine we're doing a follow-up attack on that, though. In fact, it might even be good for us to have units... Well, here is fine, so they can just jump across. As long as I have 1 unit, probably I'll put this unit here, and then put this one here, so that we control a little bit more in between Jakobstad and Riga. As far as the SS Motorized Division, I think I have some ambitions with them to now create a breach in the line between Jakobstad and Duneburg. My thought here is not that I really expect something to materialize this turn. We're still going to be moving up our infantry and all that, but what I want to do is just put pressure on the Soviets. I really want to make sure that they... well, the ideal would be that they actually have to pull back from one of these cities. And unfortunately, Jakobstad is probably the first one which will fall. It does not have an active bridge, though, so that means we're going to have to wait for it to be repaired. Luckily, it's only one... I think the city... What city size is this? Oh, it's a medium river. It's not the city size, it's the medium river, the river size. Okay, so it's a medium river. That's not too bad as far... I mean, that's... Well, it's the medium amount of repair that we'll have to do. Could take a few turns for that to materialize. But yeah, otherwise I think we're just going to be pushing units forward. So this one's going to go here. I don't think we can take out the motorized from across the river. But I probably have... This guy could get involved. This guy can get involved too. So what we might do is a 3-sided attack. I kind of doubt we need that. If this... I'm not sure. I wish I remembered if the 5th Tank Division had already been attacked. It's got pretty low readiness, 75. Pretty low combat strength, I want to say, but then I looked and yeah, it only has 75% readiness. Oh, it's only 60% for this mechanized. So yeah, I mean this must be, you know, their experience is very low. I think I'm just going to attack with these 2 units. Now, we are facing this crossing the river penalty. It's going to be a 50%, but considering how well we perform against these guys, I think this is going to be enough. And I'm wrong. We took 2 Panzer IVs and a Panzer III. You know, we actually did do a fair amount of damage to them as well. We eliminated this division almost entirely. I mean, this hilarious story, of course, is that once again the T-34 survives. But otherwise, what are we going to do with the rest of our forces? So this unit can't really do anything. Is that the only unit who can... Yeah, so I think I'm going to actually have the 123rd here move all the way over, which means that 1, 2, 3, 4... I think I'll move the 16th Army headquarters here. We'll probably start prepping, so you... Oh, you can't move there. Oh, you can get across. We'll probably do that. 1 here, and then 1 here. So Dunenberg should fall next turn. That's what I suspect. We have 4 sides of surround. We have 4 sides, yeah, of surround. And we have 3 units across the river, which will be able to complete the encirclement. We're also in pretty good position to start putting pressure. But again, I hope that the enemy sees this bristling, mounting number of soldiers and just decides to GTFO. That would be really nice. So we have a lot of green units here. That's interesting. You guys are probably... I might actually have you go over here. More forces just south of Jakobstad. And you'll just move forward a little bit. I'm not even sure where you're going to go. But probably that in that direction. So we'll just move you there. Now, where are our people? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I kind of doubt that we're going to have full supply on the ones that are across the river. But, I mean, that was kind of expected. Oh, by the way, we can possibly move some of these forces. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure there's somebody in Windau, so I'm not going to even try to move. Well, I guess we'll just move up anyway. Yeah. So, ultimately, we're going to clear the rest of this little peninsula area. How many times in Rule the Waves have I fought in this bay? Too many. I don't think there's much else we're going to do this turn, in the north at least. So the next step is maybe to do the decisions and and that's an important one because we're going to elect whether or not we want to relocate the forward supply base. Well, once again, we're running out of time, so I'm just going to try to finish this up quickly. Especially because these episodes are just taking way too long to get out. But, c'est la vie. Luftwaffe oil allocation. I really don't want to allocate more oil from the Luftwaffe. I mean, I'd love the extra fuel, but really I think at this point the more important thing is to make sure that we don't starve the Luftwaffe of fuel supplies. Basically, this is a decision which, if I had a choice, I would love to defer. Essentially, I don't want to take away the ability for the air support to be giving a benefit to my units until later down the road, when their airfields aren't going to allow them to run the full set of missions anyway. But right now they're in airfields which are pretty good, so we don't really want to tax them. I don't really care about this. I'm just going to choose the medium option so I don't spend full political points, but also so that these guys don't hate me too much, and hey, we got some PR score out of that. I don't care. Captured trucks. Very interesting. I think that we're going to have to choose the middle option here, because I don't want to piss off Von Lieb too much. And this is not too bad. Ogner only went down, and the truck pool goes up by a small amount. I don't really think we needed the truck pool to go up by much, so this is, I think, all in all, a pretty acceptable decision. Yeah, result of the decision. Extra artillery. Boy, Gurkha's not going to be super happy, but I think we're going to go ahead and push for it. So we're going to go ahead and say yes. As long as Gurkha isn't too annoyed, which he isn't. Von Roostedt is even happier with us, but this is the big thing. So we get the plus 20, and this does mean that this should be a plus 20% scaling in the artillery bonus, and God knows we need it in the south. Well, actually, I mean, God knows we need it anywhere but the south. If I was to say, I think the south has done the best so far. I don't know, center's also done extremely well. I guess the the red-headed stepchild, as the old adage goes, is definitely the north, where we haven't made great gains. But I also think that there is something to be said about the fact that the Soviets have definitely brought, look at this, 5 divisions there, 2 there, 4 there. They've definitely reinforced up near Leningrad, and that is, or at least should be, a huge boon to our efforts to close the gap to Leningrad from the south. I just haven't seen it paying off yet, but again, if we can get these units to pull back from these cities, if we can get the Dvina, then I will be ecstatic, and we'll really be on the move then. I mean, I guess we'll be really on the move until we have to try to get to Ostrov, which takes quite an effort. You know, it's marsh all around, so you have to go all the way around, or you just bypass it by choosing the route, which we've already taken to supply for rail. Anyway, we're going to call this video to a close here. Wait, no we're not. We have one more, oh, 2 more. Okay, so we have the political points to spend, so I normally wouldn't worry about defense. In fact, this probably isn't, but we're going to go ahead and acknowledge the incident. And this will also give us war crimes immunity, which, again, from a game mechanic standpoint is not really important, but this game is definitely about immersing yourself and becoming, trying to put yourself in the position of a true officer, a true in-person entity. And so our in-person, we've basically put ourselves a little bit more on the good side, and it's hard as much as you can say that about somebody leading the Nazi army. Okay, the one relocation that we're going to commit to. So notice that we don't have an option yet in the Army Group Center to commit to a movement to Minsk. So that's what we want to do. We might as well just wait one more turn for that. But in the south, I think it is due time for us to move up to Lvov. It's funny because we're almost to the point where we're at Kiev, and Proskoro is probably only a couple turns from falling, but I think we're going to go ahead and do the move anyway. Actually, I don't know, maybe we're so close that we might just squeak out, this is just really insane, we might want to squeak out one more turn. Now, if I remember correctly, Lvov is a red dot. There we go. And the red dots are the best locations for, I mean, they're the high value targets, but we can turn off units as well. Yeah, we can do Vilnius, so maybe Proskoro is the right option. I guess we're going to hold off one more turn. So until the next one then, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.